Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, we're talking about bicycle gears and whether more gears actually means more better. But before we get into today's video, if you are new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure that little bell icon right next to that is checked off, so we get notified every time I upload, that we don't miss any of these awesome cycling content we got on this channel. So like I said, we're talking about bicycle gears, and we're talking about how they work, how bicycle ratios work, what ratios you might get, and why more gears might not be more better, why less gears may be the better option for you. So what we're looking at today, this is the old gear set off of the Superfly. So the Superfly used to be a 3x10 drivetrain, or in other words, what people would call a 30 speed. That's what that bike was. Obviously now it's down to a 1x9 setup, so much different, just nine different gear combinations. That's it versus 30 different combinations. So obviously there's a lot of factors and weight and all that, but I'm not talking about that today. We're talking about just the ratios and why having this many gears on your bike might not be exactly worth it. So we're gonna be doing some math today. We're gonna be doing a bunch of stuff. Stay tuned, you're gonna wanna hear all about this. Let's get you right over here. We'll start looking at some of the details about this drivetrain. So here is the drivetrain of my actual Superfly. So this is pretty much how it is. Always sees to my chain rings up at the top. It's 24 tooth, 32, and a 42, and then my 10 speed cassette after that. So we got 10, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 24, 28, 32, and 36. So that is my essential 3x drivetrain laid out in front of you and all the different gear combinations you could be in while you're riding the bike. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and figure out the ratio for every single one of these gears. I'm not gonna make you guys sit through it. I'm gonna sit through all of this and do the math to figure this all out. Very simple to do the math and figure out your gear ratio though. Pretty much all you're gonna do is take your front chain ring here, so we'll start with the 32 tooth, and you're gonna divide it by the rear cog, which in this case is 10 for the first one. So pretty much what our gear ratio for this one is gonna be a 3.2. It's gonna be our gear ratio for that. So very simple, you can do that with any bike that has any kind of gears. Easy way to figure out what gear ratio might work better for you and what might be one ratio lower if you're looking to switch things up. So through the magic of camera editing, we got all of them all set and already all done. So we went through and did all these ratios. So essentially what all these numbers mean now are in blue. What they mean is every time you turn your crank around once, that's how many times the rear wheel is actually going to turn around. So every time you're in your 32 tooth and you're in the smallest gear on the back, your 10 in the back, you have to turn, every time you turn your crank around one time, your wheel's moving 3.2 times around. So you're turning your wheel 3.2 times. So that's how that works. Same thing if you look at the smallest gear. So we go our 24 tooth and a 36. Every time you turn your crank one time around, you're moving your wheel just over half way around. So that's why your lower gear works better than your higher gear will. Same thing if you look at the highest. So 42 tooth and a 10 and the smallest gear on the front. You're looking every time you turn your crank around, the wheel is turning 4.2 times. That is a lot. So you are going quick and fast. So that's pretty much our ratios there. So if we look at these closely, you'll actually see that some of these ratios overlap quite a bit, and there's some that are exactly the same, so they're within a very small percentage. So let me go ahead, I'm gonna mark all those up so you guys can see them a little bit better. So there we go, so we've matched everything up to within 5/100ths of a gear ratio of each other. You're not gonna notice 5/100ths of a wheel rotation. You're not even gonna notice it. It's gonna be so negligible, it's not even worth counting on you. So as you can tell, with our small gear, 6 gears that overlap, middle gear, 9 gears, top gear, 4 gears, that overlap each other, that are essentially the exact same gear, and between them we have 4 gears that are exactly the same. There's no difference between the gear ratio at all on 4 of them. Those are the green ones. There's no difference at all on those. So looking at this essentially means that 19 of your gear combinations are the same. That's it. There are 19 gears on this that overlap with another gear. So why do you even need this many gears? You have 19 gears that overlap. You have 30 gear combinations on your whole cassette. So essentially you're down to 11 that are by themselves. So why have this many gears if they just do the same thing most of the time? If we look at our middle chain ring, almost everything on there overlaps with another gear. So why would you need all these other gears? Ultimately, big benefit of the 3x drivetrain, honestly, is your big chain ring. That gives you your high gear for riding on the road and riding especially on flat surfaces. It gives you a 4.2 ratio, which is huge. That is a gigantic. Every time you turn your crank, the rear wheel turns 4 times. That's huge. On your low end, you have your 0.66 for your largest gear in the back and your smallest gear in the front. That's really what those are for. That's what this 3x is for, is to get you the road riding gears up here. So we'll go ahead and we'll pop a 1x drivetrain in here, right here. This is my current setup on my Superfly. So I have a 32 chain ring in the front. I just swapped that. If you didn't check it, if you didn't know that, check it out. I just made a video about it. And then we have a 9-speed cassette on the rear. As you can tell, this cassette has a much larger range. than any of these. As you can tell, my standard 10 by setup, it went from a 10 to a 36 tooth. On my 1 by setup, however, it went from 11 tooth to a 46 tooth. So with that setup, you essentially get about the same ratio you would get with the smallest gear, the smallest ring on there. You get about 0.66, so 0.65 on the 1x9, and then at the top end, you get a 2.72. Versus, you know, on the 32 tooth, on a normal 3x setup, you'd have a 3.2, so a little bit higher, but it's definitely better than the next one up there, which is the 2.4, so you still get the benefits of both the very small ring and the middle ring. You lose the benefits of the on-road riding, but realistically, if you're looking to mountain bike solely on your bike, you're really not going to need the large ring. You're not going to use it very much. It essentially works as a bash guard, honestly. So you can just get a bash guard instead of your large ring, run a 1x setup, and you're gonna have a very similar ratio to just a 2x setup on there, without the extra weight of a derailleur, and with the simplicity of just having one gear on the front and a large cassette on the back. And again, they make ones larger than this. They go up to upwards to a 50 tooth or larger, so you can have even wider range on your rear cassette for a 1x setup. So you can have huge benefits from having a 1x setup instead of this gigantic of 30 gear combinations. So that's one thing to think about, is when they say that the bike has 21 speeds, or 24 speeds, or 30 speeds, or whatever it might be, it's not really that. It's much less than that. As you can tell, we had 19 overlapping in that setup, so if we divide that by 2, that's 8. So 8 plus 11. So realistically, you only have 19 different combinations of gears on a 30 speed bike. So really, there aren't 30 speeds on the bike, only 19 out of that combination. So that's really why more speeds doesn't necessarily mean more better. So with that being said, if you're someone who likes to both off-road and ride on the road, like I do on my Trek 3700, having a 3x setup mounted with large gear on the front might work better for you. If it's your all-around bike, this is going to work better because you have your both on-road gears and your off-road gears. However, if this is solely your mountain bike and all you do is ever take it off-road, a 1x setup is going to be a much simpler and a much better option for you. So remember, just because it says it has 30 speeds does not mean it's better than a basic 9-speed bike. So hopefully that helped you guys learn all about gear ratios and how that all works, and why more gears doesn't necessarily mean more better. So if you did enjoy the video, give it a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comments section below. Love chatting with you guys. Love answering any questions you guys have. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching today.